A bill to release all of the Justice Department's unclassified files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein is expected to land on the president's desk today after Congress fast-tracked its approval. The bill moved faster than expected, passing the House with all but one member voting in favor. And then almost immediately, the Senate agreed to the bill with unanimous consent, something House Speaker Mike Johnson tried to stop. He had been working to persuade the Senate to amend language in the bill.
I made clear for months that I thought there were serious flaws in the underlying bill, and I had hoped that the Senate would work to fix and correct those. They decided to go a different direction. That's their prerogative. I was surprised and disappointed by that, but overall, I mean, the bill has passed, Congress has spoken, and we did what was necessary.
CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion has more on Capitol Hill. Nikole, President Trump said this week he would sign the bill into law. Do we expect any of the Epstein survivors to be there when it happens?
Well, Speaker Johnson also said that he imagines that could potentially be possible, although we don't have confirmation that that will necessarily be the case. Certainly talking to some survivors who are on Capitol Hill for the vote, they told me that they would be open to possibly meeting with the president. In fact, I spoke with one survivor, Jena-Lisa Jones, who told me this is what she would tell the president if she had the opportunity.
A lot. I don't even know where to even start. But like, what the heck? What are we doing? Explain. Give me some answers. Why? He has kids. He's a parent. He's got grandkids. What are we doing?
Now, Jones voted for President Trump in large part because she said that he campaigned on this issue, that he would release the Epstein files, but she said kind of watching him flip-flop back and forth in terms of, pressuring some Republicans and not to sign on to the measure that ultimately passed the House, only to reverse course, then say that he would sign it. She said has really almost been re-traumatizing to go with that back and forth. So obviously that is why she might ask him, what's going on with your position, something that you campaigned on. That being said, we know the president has made clear that he did not have any wrongdoing or with respect to his involvement with Jeffrey Epstein, but will further go ahead and sign this bill. It's just a matter of when.
I also want to ask you about this. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has been on Capitol Hill meeting with members of Congress today. Walk us through who he has met and what kind of precedent this sets.
Well, he primarily met with a bipartisan group of House lawmakers, including leadership Speaker Mike Johnson and House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. Jeffries told reporters a short time ago that he pressed the Crown Prince about moving forward with a two-state solution in the Middle East region between Israel and Gaza. However, he said that the killing of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi, which of course we know was a source of controversy involving the Crown Prince, even with U.S. intelligence suggesting that he might have directed that killing. He said that that issue did not come up in this meeting. Of course, the Crown Prince did play down that issue yesterday in the White House, as did the president.
All right, Nikole Killion, thank you.